Hey guys, it's Deep and Frank. Today we're going to walk through my 2-page swimming pool chlorine comparison guide. This guide is not designed to tell you that one chlorine is better than every other chlorine. The entire point is this: chlorine products are tools. Choose one primary chlorination method, then use other chlorine products to support that method when the pool needs help. Do not have to say, I only use liquid chlorine, or I only use tablets, or I have a salt pool so I cannot use anything else. That thinking limits your options and it paints you into a corner. The goal is not product loyalty. The goal is maintaining the proper free chlorine residual. Page 1 compares liquid chlorine, Cal-Hypo, Trichlor tabs, Dichlor, and saltwater chlorine generation. For each product, we look at what it is, its typical strength, how much product is needed, what else it brings into the pool, its pH effect, its advantages, its disadvantages, and the best ways to use it as a supporting tool. Let's go row by row. Liquid chlorine is sodium hypochlorite. The first version on the chart is 10% liquid chlorine. In a 10,000 gallon pool, approximately 1 gallon adds about 10 parts per million of free chlorine. That makes the math easy. 1 gallon, 10,000 gallons, 10 parts per million of free chlorine. Liquid chlorine adds no CYA, it adds no calcium. It does contribute to sodium and salt as it is used and consumed, which is total dissolved solids. Its immediate pH effect is upwards, but that really balances itself out after it reacts with contaminants. But the important point is that liquid chlorine gives us a fast chlorine increase without increasing CYA or calcium hardness. That makes it useful for salt pools, tablet pools, Cal-Hypo programs, Dichlor programs, heavy swimmer loads, storm recovery, and algae treatment. Its major disadvantage is shelf life. Liquid chlorine starts losing strength from the time it's manufactured. Heat speeds that process up. Sunlight speeds it up. Poor storage speeds it up. So buy it fresh, store it properly, and do not stockpile more than you can reasonably use in a short period of time. Liquid chlorine at 12.5%. This is what you'll typically get from a specialty pool store, or that's what pros use out in the field. Now compare that 12.5% liquid chlorine in a 10,000 gallon pool, about 0.8 gallons, roughly 102 ounces, adds approximately 10 parts per million of free chlorine. A full gallon adds about 12.5 parts per million of free chlorine. That means fresh 12.5% chlorine provides roughly 25% more chlorine per gallon than 10%. This is commonly what professionals and pool stores receive. The advantage is more chlorine in every gallon. The disadvantage is that higher strength liquid chlorine can also deteriorate faster. Freshness matters, storage matters, turnover matters. A professionally supplied product is not automatically fresh, and a big box product is not automatically old. Read the label, look for date codes, buy from locations that move a lot of product. Half-price chlorine is not a good deal if it's lost half its strength. Next is calcium hypochlorite, or Cal-Hypo. We have 4 strengths listed. We have 50%, 56%, 60%, and 70%. These products all provide chlorine. They all add calcium. They do not add CYA. The difference is how much product you must use to deliver the same chlorine increase. With 50% Cal-Hypo, you need approximately 1.67 pounds or 26.7 ounces to raise free chlorine by about 10 parts per million in 10,000 gallons. 1 pound adds approximately 6 parts per million of free chlorine. The advantage is that it is dry, stores longer than liquid chlorine, and adds no CYA. The disadvantage is it takes more product than the stronger Cal-Hypo formulas. And Cal-Hypo is a very reactive product. You have to be very careful when storing calcium hypochlorite at any strength. The reason big box stores carry the lower strength Cal-Hypos is for hazmat reasons and must be treated as a powerful oxidizer. Cal-Hypo at 56%. At 56% strength, we need approximately 1.49 pounds or about 23.8 ounces to add 10 parts per million of free chlorine to 10,000 gallons. 1 pound adds approximately 6.7 parts per million. It requires less product than 50% formula, but it still adds calcium. It must remain dry, and it must never be contaminated with other chemicals. So just like the 50%, you have to be very careful with Cal-Hypo. Cal-Hypo at 60%. At 60%, we need approximately 1.39 pounds or 22.2 ounces to add 10 parts per million free chlorine to 10,000 gallons of water, or 1 pound adds approximately 7.2 parts per million of free chlorine. Again, stronger product, less product needed, but the calcium contribution remains and the hazardous material concerns get higher. Cal-Hypo at 70%. This is what most professionals use in the field, and most swimming pool specialty stores carry products around this strength in stock. At 70%, we need approximately 1.19 pounds or about 19.1 ounces to add 10 parts per million of free chlorine to 10,000 gallons of water, or 1 pound adds approximately 8.4 parts per million of free chlorine. This is the strongest of the Cal-Hypo products listed on the guide. The important lesson is, do not compare a Cal-Hypo by bucket price alone. A cheaper 50% product will require significantly more product to do the same job as a 70% product. Compare the cost per delivered parts per million of chlorine, not simply the cost of the bucket. And remember, Cal-Hypo is useful when calcium helps. It's a poor choice when calcium hardness is already high. Next is Trichlor. This is the common slow dissolving chlorine tablet. Trichlor is approximately 90% available chlorine. In a 10,000 gallon pool, about 1.11 pounds of Trichlor adds approximately 10 parts per million of free chlorine. One typical 8-ounce tablet adds about 4.5 parts per million of free chlorine to 10,000 gallons of water. But Trichlor also adds CYA. For every 10 parts per million of free chlorine supplied by Trichlor, it adds approximately 6.1 parts per million of CYA. It also lowers pH and lowers alkalinity, but that isn't always noticeable in some pools. The disadvantage is it's slow, but it's steady chlorination as it dissolves. It's very convenient. It's very good to use if you're going on vacation and you need something to slowly add chlorine while you're gone. It's also great if you need to add CYA when the pool needs CYA. The disadvantages are its continual CYA accumulation. It can be a disadvantage of downward pressure on pH and alkalinity on some pools, and its slow response when chlorine demand suddenly increases. This is not an instant increase. Trichlor is not bad. Blindly using it all year without watching CYA is bad water management. Next is Dichlor. Most of the Dichlor we commonly see is approximately 99% sodium chlorazine triazine trione dihydrate. I'm sure I butchered that. That does not mean 99% available chlorine. The product is around 99% of that chemical compound. Its available chlorine is approximately 56%. In a 10,000 gallon pool, about 1.49 pounds or 23.8 ounces adds approximately 10 parts per million of free chlorine. 1 pound adds approximately 6.7 parts per million. Dichlor dissolves quickly. It adds chlorine and it adds CYA quickly. For every 10 parts per million of free chlorine added by Dichlor, approximately 9 parts per million of CYA is also added. That makes it useful when chlorine and CYA are both needed. It makes it a poor choice when CYA is already high though. Repeated use can increase CYA quickly. The final row is saltwater chlorine generation. A salt pool is still a chlorine pool. The salt system converts chloride already in the water into chlorine. Its output varies by cell size, percentage rating, pump runtime, salt level, water temperature, flow, and cell condition. There is no universal dose. You must know and track how many pounds of chlorine per day your specific cell can produce and adjust it as needed. The advantages are automatic chlorine production, consistent chlorine support, convenience, and reduced daily handling of chlorine products. The disadvantages include slow chlorine production, cell maintenance requirement, cell scaling, cell replacement cost, and it raises pH. And there can be potential corrosion concerns, especially when water chemistry, bonding, materials, or electrical conditions are not properly managed. A salt system is an excellent primary chlorination method, but it is not designed to instantly overcome chlorine deficit. When it falls behind, help it. Use liquid chlorine. Use Cal-Hypo if calcium is appropriate. Use Trichlor or Dichlor when CYA is actually needed. The salt system remains the primary tool. The other chlorine is the supporting tool. Now let's talk safety. This warning is critical. Different chlorine products can be used in the same pool. They must never be physically mixed in concentrated form. Do not mix them in buckets, scoops, feeders, skimmers, any container, or concentrated solutions. Add each product separately. Follow the label, use good circulation, and allow the product to dissolve and disperse safely before adding another product. All right, this finishes page 1. Let's move on to page 2. Okay, if you need chlorine fast, use liquid chlorine, Cal-Hypo, or Dichlor. Liquid chlorine is usually the simplest choice when you do not want more CYA or calcium. Use Cal-Hypo when calcium is acceptable. Use Dichlor when CYA is also needed. The fastest chlorine is not automatically the best chlorine. The correct choice depends on what else the product adds. If you need CYA too, use Trichlor tablets or Dichlor. Trichlor provides a slower chlorine feed and adds CYA gradually. Dichlor dissolves quickly and adds CYA rapidly. Once the CYA reaches the desired level, reduce or stop using the stabilized chlorine. Do not keep adding CYA simply because that is the product you always use. If you need calcium too, use Cal-Hypo. This is a perfect example of using product side effect as a benefit. If the pool needs chlorine and calcium hardness is low, Cal-Hypo can help with both. If calcium is already high, choose another tool. If you need consistent residual maintenance, use a salt system or Trichlor tabs or a liquid chlorine feeder. These are methods that can provide chlorine gradually or automatically. A salt system produces chlorine while the system operates. Trichlor dissolves slowly through a feeder or a floater. And the liquid feed system adds measured chlorine automatically. The best choice depends on the pool, equipment, water chemistry, budget, and maintenance plan. If you need vacation chlorination, Trichlor tablets can be extremely useful. This is one of their strengths. They dissolve slowly and provide chlorine while no one is there to manually dose the pool. If CYA is already high, do not create a bigger problem just because tablets are convenient. Chlorine products work well together. This section is the heart of the entire guide. Different chlorine products can support one another. If your primary method is a salt system, you can support it with liquid chlorine, Trichlor when CYA is low, Cal-Hypo when calcium is low, or Dichlor during startup or when CYA is needed. If liquid chlorine is your primary method, you can support it with Trichlor, Cal-Hypo, Dichlor, or a salt system. If Trichlor is your primary method, liquid chlorine can raise free chlorine without adding more CYA. Cal-Hypo can add chlorine without CYA when calcium is acceptable. And a salt system can provide continuous background production. If Cal-Hypo is your primary tool, liquid chlorine can take over when calcium gets too high. Trichlor can be used when CYA is low, and salt can provide consistent chlorine production. If Dichlor is being used, liquid chlorine or a salt system can help reduce continued CYA accumulation. One tool covers another tool's weakness. That is the entire strategy. Yes, you may use different chlorine products in the same pool. No, you must never physically mix different chlorine products together. Same pool, yes. Same bucket, no. Same feeder, no. Same scoop, no. Concentrated contact, absolutely not. Our North Texas seasonal strategy. Now let's walk through how this applies in North Texas. During summer, salt, Trichlor tabs, or liquid chlorine may serve as the primary method. Demand is high, water is warm, sunlight is intense, swimmer load is higher, algae grows faster. Liquid chlorine or Cal-Hypo can provide an additional boost. Trichlor can help when CYA is low, but monitor free chlorine and CYA closely. In peak summer demand, check free chlorine frequently. Do not assume the feeder or salt percentage is keeping up. Test it. In the fall, water temperatures begin dropping. Chlorine demand starts decreasing. This is a good time to reduce your Trichlor use. Monitor CYA. Keep free chlorine within proper range. Use liquid chlorine or Cal-Hypo as needed. Do not continue feeding tablets at summer rates when the pool no longer has summer demand. In North Texas, we usually continue operating our pools through winter. We do not normally close and winterize. Leaves, dirt, animals, and contaminants still enter the water, but once the water drops below 70 degrees, algae growth slows substantially. As the water becomes colder, algae can become nearly dormant. Our goal is to kill algae faster than it multiplies. In colder water, that becomes easier. This is when I stop using Trichlor tabs. Instead, I use liquid chlorine or Cal-Hypo as needed to maintain a measurable residual and oxidize contaminants. This break from Trichlor stops the continual addition of CYA. Rain, overflow, backwashing, and water replacement may gradually lower CYA during the winter. Evaporation does not lower CYA. Water must actually leave the pool and be replaced. In the spring, test the water. Check CYA, check calcium, check your free chlorine, check overall water balance. Then resume the chlorination strategy that fits the pool. If CYA is low, Trichlor or Dichlor may be useful again. If calcium is low, Cal-Hypo may be useful. If both are already adequate, liquid chlorine or salt may be the better tools. Let test results choose the product. Here's the golden rules I want you to remember. Choose one primary chlorination method. Test before adding chemicals. Know what else each chlorine product adds. Do not chase brands or marketing claims. Never physically mix chlorine products. Every chlorine has strengths. Every chlorine has weaknesses. Use the right tool for today's job. Avoid miracle multi-purpose products. I want to pause on that. I am skeptical of products that claim to sanitize, kill algae, clarify water, balance pH, prevent scale, and solve everything with one scoop. Every pool has different needs. Every chemical has specific purposes. Test or evaluate the need. Calculate the dose, measure the chemical, add it correctly, then retest. A blended product cannot know that your pool needs chlorine but does not need copper, clarifier, additional CYA, or another balancing chemical. More ingredients do not automatically mean a better product. Talk safety and storage. Store chlorine products in their original containers. Keep them cool, keep them dry, keep them ventilated, keep them away from heat, moisture, organic material, oils, acids, and combustible products. Never store Cal-Hypo or Dichlor near acids. Keep chemicals away from children and pets. Follow the label. Follow local regulations. And remember, test, dose, verify, repeat. This is the final message on the entire guide. The goal is maintaining the proper chlorine residual. My typical operating target is approximately 7.5% of CYA without borates, or approximately 5% of CYA when 50 parts per million of borates is being maintained. This is my bottom target, guys. This is what I want to stay above. I don't shoot for 7.5 or 5%. That's my bottom that I want to stay above. Choose one primary method. Use supporting chlorine products when they help. Understand the side effects. Manage the water. And always remember, kill algae faster than it can multiply. Stop choosing a favorite chlorine. Start choosing the right chlorine for the pool's current needs. Your most used wrench may handle most of the work, but sometimes you need a screwdriver, sometimes a hammer, and sometimes you need a cutting torch. Chlorine products work the same way. They are tools. Use the right tool for the job. Never physically mix them. Test the water, understand what each one adds, and maintain the proper free chlorine residual. Download the guide and share this video with someone who still believes they're only allowed to use one type of chlorine. This is Deep in Frank. Please like, subscribe, follow, share. Remember, better knowledge, better decisions, better pools.